Welcome to the San Diego Opera Video Podcast. My guest today is Zandra Rhodes, who's the designer of the production of Aida that opens on April 20th. Zandra, welcome.
Lovely to be here.
Good to have you. I would like to ask you perhaps a more general question than you're used to being asked about these productions. Now, you've done a magic flute for us. That was costumes.
Costumes only at that time.
And then full
animals.
production of and animals. We can't forget the
animals.
And full production of the Pearl Fishers, which has been, by the way, one of our cash cows because everybody is renting it and everybody wants to see it, which is great. But now Aida comes to us from Houston Grand Opera, where it had its first
and it goes back
airing
there after it finishes.
and goes back there. It is extraordinary. It's just beautiful, and I'm going to be interspersing images from it, both of your sketches and of photographs of the set itself, as we do this interview. But I want to ask you more basically, what inspires you to work on textures and colors? What things in your life are things that you pull in to your life inspire
well, as you can see, for those of you watching this, I wear bright colours. I'm not wearing Aida colours today. I'm just wearing pinks and reds today. I'm basically a textile designer originally, so that the thing that I found enchanting when it came to doing opera is the fact that you could take fairly good basics and you can print on them and you can put all this pattern all over them so that the whole stage can become one big pattern that plays in front of you.
So patterns in textures attract you perhaps more than the color, or just as much as color?
Probably just as much as colour. I mean, when I came to do this production, it was a case of what represents Egypt, and you think of gold and turquoise, and sand colour, so that it was all what was my concept of Egypt, and then to build on that, really. But
we think of Egypt as being very faded colors because everything is
exposed.
Then. But it wasn't. That's the point that I wanted to get to, because evidently, now I have not yet. It's on my bucket list. I have not yet been to Egypt and been into the tombs that have only recently been revealed that really still have some of the vibrant colors. And they were vibrant, weren't they?
Oh, I think they were dealing with very vibrant pigmentation. They would have had, the bodies would have probably been an orangey colour, and then they would have had turquoises and yellows and golds.
So that attracted you certainly to the project.
The whole project, and then coupled with this amazing music, that I think that the thing about opera is you don't realise how powerful, well, you may be if you're into music already, but, you don't realise just how powerful the music is till you see those singers actually moving forward on the stage and all of them singing in some sort of strange harmony. And I remember right at the beginning of Aida where someone said, look, you must look, when the crowd scene comes out, that third one from the left really doesn't look right. And then the music starts and I don't remember to look at the third one on the left. So that, it's the power of the music together with the colour.
Did you know opera at all before you started down this operatic path?
Very, very little. Yeah. I suppose I could hum a tune from Carmen. But I've been very lucky. Opera's come to me so-called because of being in San Diego and coming to me late in life as another aspect, another facet that I can clothe. It's wonderful.
I know because we've talked and you shared at an event that we had together that you love Torrey Pines Park. Do those colors, those native and natural colors, attract you at all and
I've always
give
liked
you inspiration?
Desert. I've always liked desert, when you see those fantastic sort of like, they're not chalk cliffs, they're sort of like where the sea receded sometime in prehistoric times, and you've got those gorgeous brown cliffs.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
which are so unique
which
there.
are just amazing.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
It's a treasure, another treasure here in California.
And that color is love. It's interesting you should mention that, because I grew up here, and ever since I was a kid, I've been attracted to the colors in those cliffs that they cut Pacific Highway out of.
Yes,
You know, they really are rather amazing.
And then, I mean, the plants are desert plants, so you've
Right.
had the small plants, but this year the yucca has been amazing, and one can look at the plants. I mean, this isn't quite to do with Aida, but there's all these wonderful flowers in Torrey Pines that are just, you know, part of, when I used to go to Rancho La Puerta, and I'd say to people, what's that plant over there? And they'd go,
Yeah.
where? I
Yeah.
didn't see it. You know, they're too busy running through. They don't see those plants.
Californians aren't used to seeing their own plants. We see lots of tropical plants, which have their own beauty. But I think that our own vegetation and our own colors.
Vegetation. This year, I've never seen more yuccas in bloom in my life. I think they're technically called agave, but
Yeah.
the
But
yuccas-
are those colors
Well,
attractive to you for your work?
Oh well, in that, I mean, I've always wanted to do. I was brought up in England. I was brought up with fairy poems, and there were fairies, flower fairies of the wayside, and flower fairies of the, you know, ABC of flower fairies. And I want to do a flower fairies of the California chaparral. I mean, because half the people walk by and they don't see this amazing baby blue, bright blue grass, iris. Well, I think it's bluegrass or something, but
Blue-eyed grass.
blue-eyed grass.
Yeah.
And I've never seen anything like it, but half the people
Spectacular.
run by and they don't see it.
Yeah.
And it's wonderful. And
Yeah.
then the Indian paintbrushes.
Mm-hmm.
I've done a lovely little Indian painting them. You know, it's really nice.
That's marvelous. Well, maybe we'll see these colors in a future opera project.
Exactly.
I love that.
Exactly.
But what now that we're into production of Aida, are you discovering something new about it that you hadn't discovered in prior productions at Houston and English National Opera? I know you did it there, and it was also done at San Francisco.
Well,
is there something new that we can look forward to?
What's new is the fact that I'm working with Andrew Sinclair. Now, I have already done 14 Pearl Fishers with
him,
Andrew, but in fact, Andrew is new to this production of Aida. So
And he's the stage director, just so everybody knows.
Yes,
Yeah.
and we've got lots. I mean, it's just magical working with Andrew. So he just comes up with all these different things, and he says, well, I want it done this way. So I have to rethink it, and it's very exciting. I can't wait to see how all the dancers go.
So you're happy?
Oh, yes.
Good.
I think the most important thing in life is saying, one, are you working?
Uh-huh.
I mean, to me, I've always got too much to do. and then the other thing that and I can sit every night and watch the opera to see the British rehearsals.
It's great.
It's magical.
Yeah, it is wonderful.
You know, and wait for the triumphal.
Well, I I don't want to give it away, but it really has been given away by photos that we've already published of the production. There's this wonderful, big, bright blue elephant.
Well, he's Egyptian.
And he's so wonderful. I know you love the animals, but this is your most spectacular animal. And it's a large puppet that's run by 8 puppeteers? Is that right, or 6?
No, it's more than that, really, because you have to have men with the tusks. Then you have another one with the trunk.
Right.
Then another one with the head, and then behind, of course, you've got the palanquin with the
Radames on the top of it, yeah. So he's being carried in on the elephant, as it were.
On the elephant, yes.
Which and I was watching the rehearsal, and what was really wonderful was the fellow who has the trunk is one of our board members.
Oh, really?
Yes, and he just had this big grin on his face. He's having such a great time with the trunk, carrying it around and being the elephant, which is so marvelous. But it creates it's a real coup de théâtre, I think, that at the climactic point of the triumphal scene, out comes this delightful, jaw-dropping creature
But the music's
It's such fun.
jaw-dropping too.
Yeah,
That's the point.
absolutely, absolutely.
And so, I mean, it just gives you goosebumps.
Mm-hmm. Well, from my era, and maybe a little bit before, when you think of Aida, you think of live animals in the triumphal scene. And very few opera houses can carry that off anymore unless they're outdoors, like the Arena di Verona.
I've never been there, I've only seen films.
So, you've got giraffes or you've got elephants and monkeys and horses. You've got horses on the stage of the Metropolitan Opera. So people sort of have that in their mind. Well, to see a giant blue puppet elephant come on stage sends the tradition up, and at the same time gives us this feeling of awe, which is really quite wonderful. So thank you for that. It's great fun.
Oh, everyone must see it if they can.
Oh, absolutely. So we both encourage all of you to come. It's going to be great fun, and I think mysterious and colorful and tender. And of course,
wonderful voices.
Yeah, gorgeous
wonderful voices. And they've been
voices.
so delightful to watch them rehearsing. They all sort of get on with each other and they joke around here and there, but they're, they're there, and it's just fabulous.
Well, and thank you for your part in it. We're looking very much forward to it.
Oh, good.
Thanks.